Any wedding day is split into different parts, isn't it? There's obviously the formal and most important part of the ceremony. There's the part now, the relaxation and enjoyment. But of course there's the bit that comes first, which is when everyone's getting ready. And that's where sometimes there'll be a wee bit of stress and tension, getting the makeup right, and the hair and the eyes, and that's just the fellas. But since we're at the part where it's the relaxation and enjoyment, I thought, what better way of enjoying a few minutes is to hear a few words from me, the father of the bride. Now, most of you know me, but to those who don't, my name's George. It's a family name. My dad's name is George as well, George Reid. And I'm delighted that my daughter, who used to, until a few years ago, be called Kirsten Reid, is now called Kirsten Macaulay. Kirsten has placed me under very strict instructions to keep my remarks brief, and I will try to conform, but well, no promises. I've made a few speeches in my time. My job used to be writing speeches for government ministers who you, in your wisdom, elected to run the country. Said about that, the better. But there can't ever be a speech which gives a person more pleasure to make than the wedding of their daughter. Kirsten also has forbidden me, under pain of death, from wittering on at length. And she's also forbidden me, I thought rather cruelly and unfairly, from starting off my remarks with the same corny joke that I've used to start every single speech I've made over the past 30 years. I'm sorry, you'd have to drag it out of me.
What was it?
So, you have to do better than that. You have to drag it out. Okay. I have to say to you that when I'm asked to speak on a monumentally important occasion such as this, I'm as nervous as any father of the bride would ever be. In fact, my knees feel like jelly, but don't worry, they'll be okay in a trifle. I apologise in advance, there's much worse to come. So may I add my own welcome, Kirsten's dad, to you all, and first and foremost to Jamie's mum and Jamie's dad, and indeed all those who've travelled sometimes very great distances to come here to share today in the ceremony and the celebration of the wedding of Jamie and Kirsten. A wedding, as we all know, is far more than simply the coming together of two people. It's the coming together witnessed by us all this afternoon of two hearts and two souls, and it's also the coming together of families, and it's been an absolute delight to meet, albeit briefly so far, Jamie's parents today and the other members of the family, and we look forward to getting to know you far better over the months and years ahead. And now for the bit that certainly won't embarrass me, but it hopefully won't embarrass Kirsten. It's customary on occasions such as this to indulge in some tales, maybe some affectionate anecdotes about the bride. I could mention, of course, how beautiful my daughter is, how intelligent and popular and charming she is, and sorry Kirsten, I'm having trouble reading your handwriting. But as we all know, Kirsten is, of course, all these things, but I have to tell you one common theme which runs through many of my own recollections when she was wee and to this day is Kirsten's sheer single-mindedness and determination, something to which Jamie will, I'm sure, attest. I can remember when Kirsten was in the Craiglockhart Primary School girls football team. You'll remember that, Kirsten, unless you've eradicated it from your memory. Kirsten wasn't a member of the girls football team by chance at primary school. She was told she must be in the team, and Kirsten's lack of enthusiasm was made worse by having to turn out to play for the team come rain or shine every cold Saturday morning. And I, as the person who took her, remember every single game well, and I'll tell you why. Kirsten made her feelings known by standing for the whole of the game on the centre spot with her arms folded, chatting to her pal, not caring less about the game or the opposing players who were whizzing past on both sides or putting balls into the net. And therefore I was known, of course, as a touchline dad, standing alongside the dads of more enthusiastic members of the girls' football team. All the other dads used to shout the traditional words of encouragement, like "get stuck into them," "go on yourself, hen," "butter the ball." And I think he even once heard a touchline dad, one touchline, obviously a heavy, utter the immortal phrase, "Gie the botty Riley." But because of Kirsten's determination to show her disdain at being forced to play this stupid game on a Saturday morning, this particular touchline dad, that is me, was forced to shout things to his daughter from the touchlines such as, "Stop chatting, Kirsten." Much to the puzzlement and the amusement of the other touchline dads. And I could regale you with countless other stories, but I'll spare you, Kirsten, of sheer delight as Kirsten grew from a new firstborn of Margot and me, having to cope, as all firstborns do, with parents who don't always know exactly what they're doing, into the wonderful woman and daughter that she is today. And all I can say, Kirsten, is how proud of you I and your mother are, as indeed are all the people who are close to you and who love you just as much. And now, a word about my new son-in-law, James. I remember, I'm going to put a hat around it or something. I remember years ago, it must have been back in the 1960s, hearing my own grandfather say that what pleased him most about each of his sons was their wisdom in choosing their partner in life, and now I know exactly what that means, and it goes in both directions. The Reid family already had the pleasure at the beginning of the year of witnessing the marriage of Kirsten's sister Anna to the wonderful Andy, both of whom are delighted to be today. And today, as I said, we have the great joy of welcoming James to the family, just as I know Jamie's family have so enthusiastically welcomed Kirsten to theirs, and I'm very grateful for that. I don't think, Jamie, that any father and mother could have hoped, as their daughter's husband, for her to find a kinder, more generous and more decent individual than you. We've obviously known Jamie for many years, but Jamie, we're no less thrilled to welcome you to the family now as our official son-in-law, even though, as I've said, you've been part of the family for many years. One of the jobs of a father-in-law is to pass on a bit of advice whenever required, and you'll be delighted to hear, Jamie, that the only advice I think I could ever give you is don't listen to advice. mind you, I bet you still get plenty of it, plenty of advice. I can see Kirsten always giving you copious advice, maybe even when you don't even ask for it. One of the things you find about being married, Jamie, is you can change your job as many times as you like, but when you get home you still end up with the same boss. I know you'll be disappointed to hear that I'm nearing the end of there are, as always the case, people who would have liked to have been here, and you'll know some of those yourself, of course. But I know that Betty in particular sends a love and best wishes to you both. She'd have loved to be here, but unfortunately she couldn't. But possibly the most notable absentee here today is a young chap called Stanley.
Yes.
Quite the back. Not all of you have met Stanley. I could talk to you for hours about Stanley, who, by the way, for those who don't know this, is a beagle dog. Make no mistake, young Stan is the absolute love of Jamie and Kirsten's life. Speaking for myself, I think it's theoretically possible for me to love a beagle. It's just it would be quite tough. From the age of 6 weeks, Stanley's main aim seems to have been to sink his sharp teeth into my face. At the start, I saw this as just fun, until the scars took longer and longer to heal. And this led Stanley and I to having what you might call a respectful, if somewhat distant relationship. But my goodness, once we're finished our meal, I'm sure Stanley would have loved working his way around any leftovers. I'm going to spare you quite a lot, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. And what I'd like to do, having gone on for possibly far too long, I know you disagree, but I
12 minutes and 34 seconds.
That could be a record. My dear friends, what I would now invite you to do is raise your glasses and drink a toast to the health and future happiness of two wonderful people, Jamie and Kirsten, Mr. and Mrs. McCauley.
Cheers! Come. Oh, you bloody buggers!